Hello and welcome to your Friday night CSP. How you doing, Paul?
A bit tender today, Andy. I'm not lying, mate. I'm not going into the details that I've just told you, but I think I took the celebrations of getting a playoff a bit further than the actual achievement deserved, if I'm being honest. So I was at the game last night, and it went on. It went on a bit. We've already got a scumbag going there, Harry.
Yeah, don't worry about
it. Obsessed with
it.
the usual deal. Strange folk. I'm crab at the night, mate, so watch your fucking game. No, but I at the game last night, Andy. We'll come on to that, obviously. And before I forget, I've just been speaking to him the other now. Shout out to, first of all, Starkey boy, old pal of mine, who's a regular watcher, good Celtic man, good anti-fascist and all that stuff, good boy. And his mate, Gav, I say this a lot, if you're watching, his mate's a blue nose, fucking great boy. Great boy. So, Gav and Starkey, keep it up, keep him on, lads. Two good guys, so I thought I'd give them a shout out. You got rid of this cunt, this Harry.
The comments keep popping up when I think I might have banned the wrong person here, by the way. So
Harry,
I apologise.
Kids, you shouldn't be trusted with the boot of me, a fucking rocket.
Aye.
Fucking weird. I bet he's a royalist. He's a royalist.
I might have banned Vincent.
I bet he's in the Boys Brigade. Fucking
idiot. So you were at the game last night, Paul?
Andy, aye. First of all, how are you, Biggin? I know it's just the two of us tonight, so we're a couple of men.
Aye, all right. I think we'll get a new out of the night. I think it'll do. I'm pretty tired. It was a early start this morning, but
well, you know,
I'm good. Just Madam him.
You know my reason for being tired as well, mate. So I'll put the comments up, Andy. I'll keep an eye on any other scumbag coming in. I love the fact to watch us, and I love the fact that my fucking venomous poisons directed right at them. Get it fucking up, these. But I know good, Andy, and we'll just batter through tonight. Listen, as I say, for the interest of full disclosure, I'm rough as fuck, and Louise has told me, I think at least 5 times now, I look like shit. And I can't argue with her. So if I talk more shit than normal, then that'll be the reason for that. Maybe
so over just about hello to Brian there in Toronto, in Canada.
Right.
Speak to Brian on Twitter now and again.
On, mate.
Good to see you.
On, Brian. We'll come to that, mate. I've got a lot to say about that. We'll come to that.
Aye, so which firstly, before we go into anything else, I just want to touch on Kieran Tierney being the new patron of the Kano Foundation, which is a brilliant capture to get him on board. So that's really good. So congratulations to everybody involved there and getting Kieran on board there to a fantastic organisation. It does fantastic work. So well done to all the lads and lassies there at the Kano. So Paul, just touching on the game last night, mate.
Before you move on to that, just a bit about the kit. Obviously, you know that, and everybody that's watched them, maybe some folk haven't. I've had the good fortune through our friend and comrade Kev Moon, that put me in with a wee group that I helped through here. Five. I used to be Five Migrants, Five International Forum now. Kids with nothing, absolutely fuck all. And they've been to Celtic Park twice now, and it's all free charge, everything paid for. Just such a great organisation, and obviously there was movement. Whatever happens, that happens in these types of organisations, every organisation. But getting KT as a massive thing. So really pleased for all the people involved and what a guy. So up the Kano and up KT.
Spot on, mate. Spot on. So touching on the game last night, with your arse making buttons at any point, Paul? You're thinking after maybe 20-25 minutes we were in Easy Street and we turned into Celtic for some reason. Which are initial thoughts at the start of the game?
I thought we played well. I didn't think we were outstanding. I thought we played well. They didn't look any great shakes. couple of decent players, but they look any great shakes. I was going through in the bus, telling every cunt that would care to listen again about Barkas is going to hit the game of his life tonight, because we've had that in the past with players that came back and they were shit worse and they've scored against us. Their names are completely going to escape me tonight, because I don't even know my own name tonight, never mind anything else. Aye, good job, mate. You've got a hard fucking neck, to be fair. Saying if I made a cunt of going home last night, but yes, I did. But bro, listen, big, I've not stayed for a while. I hate to go along and see you. But I thought, I mean, 3-0 up, Andy.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
It's 3-0 up, without really kicking a ball. Okay, we played well, played decent enough. Thought the goals come very easy. And easy street. And then obviously they get back into it. So can you go take a positive to that for that, Andy? Because we didn't crumble. You know what I mean? We didn't crumble. I'm going to touch on that. I'll go further into that. Joe, that's the one. Benny, cheers, neighbour. Fucking cunt. Joe Ingle, bye. I scored 2. I think I'm saying scored. I think he was on loan. Was he on loan? They've been on loan. I'm back to him and he's coming. Joe, I'm not going to get his name. It's Benny's put it
Bergen or something. No, he'd actually left. I think he'd actually left and come back to Ontas, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're in the stadium, Andy, and as the contributors are saying, and if you're not on board with us, then you're a fucking idiot. Simple as that. If you don't think that stadium is just, I mean, it was embarrassing last night. Embarrassing, Andy. We're 3-0 up. And they're singing Celtic is a song. And I'm afraid to say that we dined out for years. That's the one, Barry. Cheers, son. You've always been good with names. We've dined out for years on the Celtic Park Champions League and whatever European competition atmosphere. It's just not there. Simple as that. And I think that was probably, and nobody will tell me that doesn't affect the team. Because it was just like a library. A couple of each chants, nothing major at all. They were pretty loud.
But Paul, you'll be thinking that plays right into their hands when they've not got that section in the stadium, because they can't be called all sorts of names and called out and sack the board, and it absolutely plays into their hands. And you look at it, you go, why would they want fans in that absolutely despise them? But then we've got a board in charge that absolutely despise its own fans. It's same people that put the money into the club. I think it's an absolutely disgraceful decision. Andy, the fact that they're still talking about it at this point, the season is an absolute joke.
You're spot on, because I do think that's the reason. I do think that is the reason. The most tenuous one is this Falkirk thing. 4 people have been charged. The other 4 folk it should be probably no, apart innocent until proven guilty. But collective punishment, as I say, the Zionist fucking approach to dealing with your fans, collective punishment is just fucking absolutely ridiculous. But you're right, and I do agree, it is self-preservation. I've froze, but I hope you can still hear me.
You're fine.
Get back again. It is self-preservation, Andy. And what does that say about the calibre of people that they can't take a wee bit of fucking, absolutely, they must know themselves that they deserve to get stick, and they can't take that. So the ban, they put everything at risk. They kill the atmosphere, they kill the match day experience. Even when I'm with the Kano, right, the young team, they're always looking up at the the section of the bouncer boot, and I was saying that I'm usually up there, and we're about Paul, and I'm like up there, oh, it looks great and that. And they're even for that point of view, they're not getting that anywhere. And I know for a fact that was a big part of their match day experience, was all looking around at the section. And all kind of this part of the stadium that was just fucking bouncing. And for them to put self-preservation and we hurty feelings before the actual match day experience and the actual potentially results and performances, because we'll be told 12th man, all this bullshit, and it's just no there at all. It's dead, and it won't. And I'm seeing less and less of this, because we have got a lot of pathetic bastards within our support, loads, and I'm seeing less and less of this. on social media, and I was just not on my bus or anything like that, but just probably social media. Used to be, oh, we didn't need them. You can, we didn't need the Green Brigade. Well, these are the cunts that the predominant people that say that have probably never sung a song in their life. I've sat in the Jokestein stand, Andy. I sat in the Jokestein before the section was put in place, and it was just fucking. Who's that? Somebody said Pablo. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is. Sorry, guys. I'm just commenting there. Somebody's trying to draw my attention to something. Fuck, I've lost it. I don't know. But I've sat in the Jokestein, Andy, before the section was built, and I used to sit and cringe sometimes, kind of literally fucking embarrassed with the lacky noise in the whole stadium. And I always say, I think it was useful. Harlan said, "I've never known 60,000 people who could be so quiet." And listen, that's not the fault of your average punter, because any all-seater stadium that doesn't have an organised section for starting singing, sitting down isn't conducive for singing. Just isn't it? You don't got the pictures and sing. You know what I mean? You go to a gig and you're sitting down, you didn't really, you know what I mean?
Aye.
The older you're getting, you kind of, I find myself sitting down more at gigs. And you know what I mean? It's no a natural thing to do. So you need that section. And obviously the boys are doing their bit by just no singing. And they absolutely should do that. And that's solidarity. That's what it's all about. I have heard for a pretty reasonable source that fucking the letter that the Green Brigade sent to Brian Wilson, Brian Wilson was apparently quite open to discussion and whatnot. And that bastard, Polis, that pig bastard, what's his name? Can't remember his name. Hargreaves. And has apparently doubled down with Nicholson. There's Nicholson, a wet wipe again. Got an ex-fucking Polis telling him what to do now.
Aye.
That's a loyalty that's probably. I was getting a bit born with the Andy, right? And younger. And I never met a lawyer that didn't hate the Polis. Fucking lawyers hated the Polis. And this cunt's listening to this. And that's, I mean, it's come from a pretty solid place. So I'm putting it out there that it's that bastard that's driving this. Brian, God only knows, like it, James, like it. One of my favourite songs, to be fair. Then playing Brian Wilson's name.
Aye.
So Andy fucking, it's just no enjoyable going to football now. It's no enjoyable. I mean, the sections did. You know what I mean? Because even, there you go, even like us that were, well, you can exactly where I stand.
Aye.
The Huns game. So we're kind of just behind. If the Green Brigade are in, Andy, we're probably about 5 rows for where, maybe a slightly more, not about 10 or whatever, but I've never counted it, but we're no far away for where they are actually in. And even last night, Ken Falkirk chat starts, and there's a bit of me doesn't want to sing either, because I want to prove a point to these cunts as well.
Yep.
As I say, I'm no embarrassed at the lacky noise last night. I'm no embarrassed, really, personally, at Utrecht singing us like no bother at all, because that's what I want to happen. To let these bastards, hopefully, but who knows? I don't know. I say hopefully get enough pressure to fucking do the sensible thing, get round the fucking table, have a discussion. I mean, the Green Brigade's put the olive branch out. The perfect time, and this is what I mean. If this is a perfect time, if they were really interested in Celtic and this season, this is a perfect time, Andy, to say, right, lads, we've got you in the back foot a bit now because you've been banned for, I think it's 18 games. Something like that. I think I read that today. Did a quote me on that again with the fucking head today. But this is a perfect time for it to say, right, we've got you in a barrel a bit here. No compromise. None of this, none of that. Okay, I mean, pyro's the only thing for me that shouldn't be allowed. Banners of a political nature absolutely should be allowed.
But then, Paul, when Brian Wilson is talking about unity, there was the perfect opportunity to actually get unity, and the fact that any correspondence that was put forward to them has been totally ignored. And I think you just mentioned that, that it's maybe out of Brian Wilson's
Yeah.
hands as such, or out of his thoughts, that it's not what he's wanting. But if surely he's got to put his opinions forward to saying, "Oh, listen, this our team and our stadium is really suffering for this action that you have brought upon the fans."
Yeah.
The way it is now, Paul, do you see the Green Brigade section actually being allowed back into the stadium this season?
Well, the same person that told me about that, as in the and well, never told me directly. It was on another message board, but I know the guy, and I think somebody says, I think the Green Brigade's done, and he basically said, no, that's not the case at all. But I don't know. You can't. How can you second guess a board that are so crass, that are so bitter, so vindictive, so fucking, so just shit.
But Paul, they're Celtic men. They bleed green. They're they're born and bred, and they're Celtic daft. These people, remember.
So they do, and this is the thing, Andy. I'm going to talk a little bit about this because I think it's a real important thing, and it ties in with the game. And going back to the game, kind of, I'll sort of jump back and forward. That was a bit I was kind of worried about. I thought, right, because you've not got the roar. What I mean, when you used to get the roar at Celtic Park, if a team is coming back at you, you just used to get that fucking guttural roar. It's nothing. When they went to 3-2, you could feel nerves, right? And then you're thinking, right, okay, we've seen this movie before, and so to come back and get the fourth. Red Roses, do you think a complaint had gone? I think that's a major part of it, mate. I think that's a major part of it. What else can it be? You can't ban a whole group for an incident that we've still seen no footage, no body cam footage, no fucking CCTV footage, nothing. We've got fucking 4 breach of the pieces. 4 people charged with breach of the peace. I've told you 4 have been charged with that loads of times. They could get you that for fucking, that's it. They hate to be breach of the peace when they've got nothing else to get you. Because it's so wide. It's so open to interpretation. If there was one, I'll tell you right now, if there had one assault that took place, that would be fucking all over the place. If they'd footage it, that would be all over the place. But I mean,
what they've already done, Paul, when you look at Tannadice and they were in cahoots with the mainstream media to get that so-called image of somebody with a blade that was never a blade. They couldn't wait to get that information out to badmouth the fans when that wasn't the case. And incidentally, that was the same game that Mackay is standing with his phone mocking the fans, basically inciting a riot. That the man is inciting a riot when he's doing that. And the fact this is a director of Celtic Football Club, world class basics and all the rest of it, is standing at Tannadice doing that. It's crazy.
Yeah. And see if that wanker Hargreaves was doing his job as a security person properly, he'd have been tapping him on the shoulder and say, "What you doing?" That's his job.
Yeah.
That's his job.
And see why we're just talking about security here. I know it's a way off subject a wee bit, but I'm going to go back to this video that was shown in Italy. Where Nicholson walking down the street and the guy basically called him a shite bag. Now, people were crying out about that. Me and you had the exact same opinion about that as well, how we felt about it. The outcry was just a fucking absolute joke. The fact that 60,000 people can call him an arsehole in a stadium, but one guy calling him a shite bag out in the street, that's, should be condemned as an absolute joke. But just talking about security, if he's the security, and by the way, and he was in Italy, the guy's meant to be the head of the stadium security is in Italy with Nicholson, where Nicholson shouldn't be anyway. He should be concentrating and trying to get players in. Where is he in this matter? Where is he saying, Michael, look, there's a lot of Celtic fans out there, they don't really feel too good about you. I think it's a bad idea to be walking down the street willy-nilly. I think you're leaving yourself open for a lot of criticism here. I think it's a bad idea. And so where is he in this matter? Where's his advice if he felt he was so threatened? A board that is threatened, people have had to resign because they've been threatened so bad.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go again, and then what does that say about reading the room, about having the temperature of the situation, that you fucking that you thought you could fucking go to Italy, which was a red drag right away, because we're wanting you here doing your fucking job, you gimp, right? And then not only that, then let's go for you're spot on. Here's Mr. Security, Mr. Police there. Do you know what I mean? Because they've got the St. Aloysius thing going on there. They're both fucking private school St. Aloysius cunts, aren't they? But then they will hang, because I mean, one of my, I've got many things that I hate in this world, and one of them is the private school system. It's the basis for all class. Everything's wrong with the class system in Britain starts for that, and so they come out of that. So right away they're coming at you with a fucking a sense of superiority, which is completely misplaced. I mean, the day Michael Nicholson, he might have a lot more money than me, but that's all he's fucking got more than me.
Yeah.
Because he looks the most fucking turgid, boring, fucking inept fool. And I could keep his £1 million a year. I wouldn't want his personality. So, but again, Andy, just looking at that situation, does he not have any idea? You know what I mean? If I was in, God, I'm going to say this. If I was in his shoes, if I was him, the last place I'd be wanting to go with was any Celtic supporters with. You know what I mean? The very last. He's lucky he never got his cunt kicked. There you go. Because I know a lot of folk that were out there, and I know a lot of folk that if he's bumped into them, the situation would be a lot worse than somebody having a bit of crack with him, because that's all it is, really.
It was a guy who had a drink in him on an away day in Europe. I thought it was very, very, very lightly hearted.
Yeah.
A bit of humour, you know.
Right. And I agree, Perry Daly's coming with one of Paul, he's only a puppet. Perry, I presume that's a play on fucking... Oh, Perry Daly, sorry, I'm not fucking here. You're right. Yeah, it is, absolutely is. And then right at the bottom of that, where's that comment? For Kez, spot on, Kez, that's where I am the new mate. That's where I am the no, I'm convinced the board are happy to fuck us over this window. Sheer arrogance. I do think there's an element in that, because I've tried to make sense of it for all different angles and saying, right, there's James trying to get a square go organised between me and Michael Nicholson. I'm going to tell you right now, James, I would fucking take him out the game in about 5 seconds. Wouldn't even be close, mate. And that's no me saying I'm a hard bastard, because like he looks.
Can you imagine if he could actually fight though? Do you think it's just an act? Do you think he's some kind of savage or something? Do you think if he actually had a quick over him?
How bad would that be? Going in off.
Imagine that. Imagine getting a doing for him. You'd need him and get it to the moon or something, wouldn't you?
Oh, mate. Who broke your nose, Paul? Fucking Nicholson. Oh, dear. But no, I didn't think I could take him. But anyway, you're probably right. I'd hope so, Ryan. But Andy's bad. I thought somebody knew that he's got to be a hardy wee cunt, a surprise package.
Funny one that surprises you.
I know, mate. But no, listen, it's just the whole match. I mean, see if not for Martin O'Neill, the whole fucking picture. That man is holding everything together. Everything together. Him as wee Sean and Mark Fillingham are holding everything together. With Tony, there you go, Tony. The Blingery crew. You don't know Blingery. Blingery's a great wee village just up the kind, with proper working class mining town. Right. And some of the best people. Just a right good wee tight. And Tony's a top Celtic man. But you're right, Tony. If the Blingery boys had seen him, fuck me. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And for Blingery boys, Easter, who's see fucking blah. I mean, people that have got a gripe with this cunt, and he thinks it's all right to walk in amongst the support. Mental. He should think he actually got a big result out of that. But Deck. Go and give me some justification for that, Deck. End of the day, the Green Brigade have brought the house down on themselves. Go and justify your comment, mate, because it just works. You've got the Falkirk thing, which nothing been proven. What else?
But that's they're looking for some kind of they're looking for some kind of admittance for the GB group. That's for sure. You know, I think that's maybe.
The thing is, Andy, right? So they are still out there. And no offence, mate. I'm not. That's your. No, just that's your opinion. Entitled to. You know my opinion on that. I didn't go for that. If you're wrong, you're fucking wrong. And you're going to get nowhere with that attitude, mate. You're going to get nowhere with that attitude. The club's going to be gone. That's why we are. Not you specifically, but that attitude times blah 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 is where we are the new. That's how we are the new. Apathy and fucking just an acceptance. A fucking the board. That's a board. They're on the club. That's the board.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, Andy, I'm going a bit around here again. Like another thing, right?
That's all right.
Is I am fucking sick to death of people telling me how much a great job Peter Lawwell done as a CEO or whatever he was, his titles at Celtic Park. My fucking bollocks. That man, I've always been shit at maths, but the amount of millions he cost this club. 7 out of 9 Champions League failing to qualify. No, how much? Just say average 40 million. That's £280 million. Right, I know we'd have got some for you for all the rest of it. You can maybe take 8. You're probably looking at £200 million. There or thereabouts that he's cost us by not just him, but then he tell me he's done a good job because we've won trophies and we've won leagues that we absolutely fucking should have won because the only club that could get near us. Well, fuck it, no, I take that back now because Hearts can get near us now. That's how shit we are. Hearts can get near us now. But the other mob, right, fucking, we've allowed back into a title race, which is just incredible.
Crazy situation when you think about it, actually.
And another thing as well, and I picked this up off Axom yesterday. Paul John, I think, was going on about it. When did we start fucking giving CEOs credit for winning games of football? When did this become a thing?
I know.
We've won 12 leagues under fucking Lawwell. No, we won 12 leagues under Brendan Rodgers, Mark Lanier, or blah, blah, blah. They're fucking nonsense. They've regressed, again, great choice of words, James, they've regressed the fucking club.
And also, Paul, when you look at the situation before Ange came in, you know, what he had to come into, but also the fact we had all our eggs in the one basket when it came to Eddie Howe, and that was an absolute fucking disaster that happened there. They struck it lucky with Ange. I don't care what MD says. They struck it lucky.
Give me a minute till I just deal with this fella's point, right? Because again, it's just words. It's mere words this time, but it's just words again. So the GB have been forcing their policies. What policies have they got? First of all, think what policies they've got. And politics, yes, they're very political, as you should be as well if you're a Celtic supporter. The club's only here because of politics, mate. You wouldn't be supporting Celtic. You wouldn't have a tricolour above the stadium, blah, 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 with your attitude. So that's the first thing. So I think what your policies, unless you've meant to say politics twice, because I think policy doesn't make sense. Politics. So the politics would be Irish Republican, anti-fascist, anti-racist, and pro-Palestine, as well as many other very deserving causes, but Palestine, obviously, because your politics can come back and say Sudan and all that stuff like it's some sort of fucking top Trumpsy fucking genocides. You know what I mean? So, if you could tell me what one of them's bad, that would be interesting to hear. Plus, also, if you do agree with them, get a pair of balls and don't fucking just allow people to force their opinion on you. There's another thing. They believe their version of support is only version and plenty are fed up with this piss. Just where do you go with that? I mean, where do you go with that? Just
I was actually trying to find the comment, but it's shooting up that quick. I can't scroll down quick enough to
take this as it's meant to be, Dick. I'm glad I'm not you, mate. And I'm a prick. And I'm glad I'm not you. Fucking hell, man. I don't know.
And that's what he's telling you that.
Dick Nicholson. Oh, boy, exactly. And as I say, mate, I'm not digging at you. I don't know you. You're probably a good boy just for strange views and stuff. But, so tell me what politics they say that are wrong. I'll be pleased to hear. I'll be interested to see your next comment. And that's it. One more and that's it.
Let's just I'll get back to the European game, right? Obviously, I don't want to get right into the game. My arse was making buttons a wee bit kind of watching it. And what also pointed out to me, not just this actual tie, because we've actually done quite good in Europe under Martin O'Neill, but every time every game we play, I look at the opposition and I think, no matter who it is, it could be Falkirk, Dundee, it could be Utrecht last night, how easy it is for teams to pass through us and pass round about us.
Very easy to play
A
against.
lot of time we're running about like heedless chickens trying to get the ball. I think when we're in control of a game and in possession, I think at times we look very good. But our problem is we have moments in games. We don't actually control games anymore.
No.
I think it's a major, and I think personally, if we're up against a better team last night, albeit we might not be 3 up within the first 20 minutes against a better team, but we were in that situation. If we were up against a better team, we might have get punished a lot more last night than what we done. I don't think they were a particularly good team, but they certainly passed it about well and kept possession well. All right, possession doesn't negate it anywhere, but they scored two goals in a game that didn't mean anything to them because they were out of competition altogether.
Yeah.
I think you need to take that into contention as well. Aye, we did play good in moments, but it really, something that really concerns me is at times how easy we are to. What the way I look at it, Paul, is
very easy to play against Sunday.
We take risks at the wrong end of the park. We play all the risky football at the back. I want to see the players taking a risk and being brave in the forward end of the park. We're too cautious when we go ahead at times, and we're too risky at the back. And I think a lot of the times we play ourselves into danger when there's absolutely no need about it. And teams smell it. They smell that fact that they're coming back a big and they're not confident with what they're doing. All you need to do is press them, and they start making their own mistakes. They play themselves into trouble. I think that showed last night as well.
We were talking about this last night after the game up at Money versus. That's what we were saying. A couple of boys that play the game, junior level and whatnot, getting their football, good players. And they were saying the same thing. Just so easy to play against. Okay, no go, and you look. I mean, look at Hearts. I mean, teams are coming at us, Andy. Teams are fucking coming at us because we've not got that fucking. I mean, I think back to. I always go back to the Man City pre-season game in America when we just looked fucking electric.
We did.
We just looked electric.
Yeah.
And we've not got that anymore. And we have, and if we do get in and around the box, obviously with the lack of quality that we've got there, then we're really struggling. Taneke, I just didn't see it with that laddie at all. Big Dawes, Big Will, didn't see it with him at all, mate.
No, I find him incredibly frustrating to watch, Paul. You know, you want him with it. You can look at him, go, you've got tricky feet and stuff like that, but we don't get enough out of him. And as I said, the frustration levels that he gets me to is just unbearable. I was actually thinking about turning the telly off last night, just purely through him, with the frustration he watching him. I think he's a really difficult watch, and I really don't know where you go with this. Obviously, we're talking about signings and stuff like that, and we definitely need a right winger. You're looking at a left wing as well, because you're going, if Taneki's no playing and Maida's playing up front, but if Maida's playing on the wing, he's not been great. Taneki's not been great, and Jota's going to be out for the rest of the season, I think. So I think that we need a left winger, right winger. I think I would like to see an attacking midfielder, and I think we need a big, hard bastard in the middle of the park, certainly in the midfield, and we certainly need a centre back. That's for sure. It's just I think when we get to the summer, Paul, I think you're looking at that team and you're stripping a fair bit of that team to replace them, because I don't think we are up to scratch at all.
No, never near it, Andy. Never near it. I'm just going to come on to and it's the last time I'm going to address this, because I think Deck, whatever his name is, got his pal to put a message up as well. Instead of waving Palestine flags, why not wave Celtic flags? That's loads of folk do. I'm there to support my team. It's a football stadium, not a political ground. Well, Gary, first and foremost, I would suggest that it's quite important with a club that was born out of genocide, like Celtic were. A club who have so many parallels with the way we came about, and we know about the Black Tans going into Palestine, blah blah blah. And also let's bring it up to date. I think thousands of kids getting blown up in tents outside hospitals because they've already been blown at their houses. A whole fucking region razed to the ground. Hundreds of thousands probably killed. Men, women, children, innocents. I think that's quite important to show some sort of solidarity with that. And I think being a Celtic supporter, it's your duty to show some solidarity with that. Choose to do it or no, that's absolutely up to you. I was going to say, well, I'll no judge you. I absolutely will. If you didn't, I absolutely will judge you. And not in a good way. Because the term, if you know your history, has never been more relevant to what I've just said to you. But I do know loads of folk, Gary, that go to the football, and politics isn't their thing. I find it very strange. And also, what I find really bizarre is folk have the ability, I mean, your politics are with you every minute of your life. Every minute of your life, politics are with you. It's just a fact. So, let's show up to the turnstile. Let's, what you got on you? No, I've got my politics here. I'll leave them there. And I'll get them on the way back out. Because that's how fucking shallow I am. That's how much I believe in anything. I'll fucking leave my politics here and fucking get... Okay, I mean, do you have any idea? The positivity. Never forget the right-wing media and the fucking... the bias and the media that's promoted and fucking apologised for some of the worst horrors I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, yep.
Right. And the difference between the folk will say to you, oh, what about Saddam? What about this? What about that? Absolutely. Totally agree. However, the big difference is they're not being funded by the most powerful countries in the world against folk that have got nothing, including their own country, who are supplying weapons and supplying munitions. Right? They're killing children and women. So if you don't think that's something worth getting on board with, Gary, like Dick, your pal, I'm glad I'm not you. Because I'm glad I've got that conviction. I'm glad that I can't talk about that. I'm glad that breaks my fucking heart. I'm glad that almost every time I wake up, it's one of the first things I think about. I'm glad I'm like that. It's horrible, and I wish I didn't have to do that. But fuck me, I'm glad I'm like that. So hey ho, and we'll leave it at that.
Here's a question, Paul.
Yeah, any of the other...
Oh no, sorry, ring comment. Hold on, I'll get up. Hold on 2 seconds. I think it was James Allen Wiper.
Which I get where goes the fucking... Nah, I've got too many fucking skeletons in my college. Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. Nah, mate, I think the very nature of being an MP makes you a bit of a cunt.
I'd love to see you in the House of Commons, I've got to admit. That'd be some watch.
I'd rather go on with fucking munitions than fucking work, to be honest with you. That would be what should be happening. I'm just ignoring that deck, can't you, right? Because you're pissing me off. I would rather go on with heavy-handed, shall we say, rather than words. But no, James, I'm fine, mate. I'm all right, just ranting, and I will rant all my fucking days. I've ranted for the day I could speak. And I think I care about things that are important. I mean, I'm very confident, but I'm very comfortable with my fucking morals and what hurts me and what I find important. I mean, I'm very, very confident with that. And I've been like for a very, very early age. Some would say a bit too early an age. But that's what I am, and that's what I'll always be. And I'm all right with that. Anyway, back to the football.
Aye, back to football, Paul. So anyway, we did get through the game into the knockout stages, playoffs, whatever you want to call it. And kind of the opposition were going to be playing.
2 seconds, I think Deck's just thinking they sell with red, white and blue. He's obviously a hun. Mate, that makes me happy.
Kind of thought that anyway.
I'm glad they not come after you. I'm glad you've had to listen to me, mate. Because see you and your club, he's a stand for nothing, shallow, pathetic, fucking fools, man. Fucking idiots. Anyway,
they can't comment, but can still watch us. So feel free to
give them a call. Fuck you, Dick.
And answer fucking Dick, and I'll get it up you.
What an isn't a game? I can never mind.
To touch it, so the opposition we were going to play changed a few times towards the end of the game due to this whole kind of construction of the league now. So we ended up get drawn against Stuttgart, I'm pretty sure I might be wrong, but the last time we played them was on the run into Seville.
Yeah.
And who was the manager? It was Martin O'Neill.
I know, mate.
And,
I know, mate. That's one of the games I still can't tell you the fucking score.
I remember one of their players. He might have had a brother on that team as well. Kevin Kerani played for him. He was actually a half decent player.
Who was it? Who's the guy with Glasgow too? Kleb.
Aye. Yep.
They were a good side, Andy. There you go.
They had a good side, aye.
That's how far I think they were sitting top of the Bundesliga or second when we played them. And that was a hard run, by the way, because I mean Blackburn didn't get the credit they deserve. Blackburn. I always remember Blackburn had just beat Arsenal at Highbury.
They were a good team, aye.
They were sitting against second or third, and then Andy Cole, fucking what's his name, the terrible feather, fucking Dwight York.
Dwight York, I hate that guy.
Father of the year. I bet he's still a better feather than you though, Dick.
Just ask his sister.
Aye. But they were a good side, and then obviously Liverpool, they're pretty much player for player. The Liverpool team went on to win the European Cup 2 seasons after it. And look where we are now. But that's where we are, and it shows you how far we've. John, actually, I'm just looking at John's here. I remember being out. I went out. I was around the park. I went to Boavista.
You read that comment there, Paul?
What? Aye, that's my Scott. I can literally see your old fucking house from where I'm sitting, mate. I'm sitting in my kitchen. Scott grew up the same street as me. Good lad. He's doing well, which you know what I'm talking about, mate. So no power to you, son.
Aye.
Alexander Clay, good side. And I've got a bad name at the best of times, and we were very comfortable at one point of the game over there. And then I remember they banged a couple in, fucking bang, and it was like, woof, this is getting dodgy. But we got through. That was my favourite. No, but Blackburn was good for different reasons. Total polar opposite experiences. Blackburn was great because it was just fucking violence all day against his right wing, fucking decking all his pals, the right wing fucking shite bags. And
is there not quite a few Celtic fans round about kind of Lancashire, like Blackburn, Preston area? There is, isn't there? A lot of Celtic fans round about there.
But they were. It was chaos all day. And but Stuttgart was a polar opposite in the big square before the game. And Germany's a good place. I'm thinking about. I've not been to Europe for a while. I think Amsterdam was the last time. But I'm thinking about putting up for Stuttgart because it's a brilliant city. It's a really nice city. City.
When would that tie be taking place? It's not been put out yet, but
I think it has, Andy. I think it has.
Has it been put out?
I'm going to wait for the comments to come in because I think Andy Hinkle played the day. Funk man, you're fucking right. He did. Andy Hinkle played for Stuttgart as well. Yep. And James is right as well. About Hun Bastards, you could have just stopped that one, to be fair. But Hun Bastards and their weird obsession with child abuse, exactly, man. Exactly. Whilst having footage of King Charles and the Queen on the wall. They didn't do irony very well.
19th.
That's it. I'm going to aim first. 19th and the 25th, Ryan. Cheers, buddy. See my job now, right? Because I've went into the fucking, the higher, the management side of stuff, which I fucking hate. And
there we are. It's hard game, 26.
The same with you, Andy. Obviously, totally different jobs, but you'll find it hard to plan stuff too, mate. Because
of course, can't plan anything.
Aye.
The only thing I know for sure is I'll spend Friday night in my own bed. That's other than that. When it goes from Monday to Friday during the day, then I could be anywhere in whatever country. I just never know. Yeah.
But just on that, somebody's mentioned the Rangers. I'm going to bring up because this narrative, this myth that's going on about how great a run they're on. Somebody printed off they're running. I think they've broke a record again for the worst fucking run of results in the UEFA Cup. And that's what we're fighting with a league for. Okay, what I mean?
I know that shows us up more than them, to be honest with you.
It's 100% Rain Dane.
Yep.
But no, listen, just to tie in last night, happy enough for the result. any European game, a result nowadays is to be welcomed. Didn't think they were any great shakes. I do believe they were. I do believe. Oh, I'm going to ask you to ban that cunt, Andy. Street shit. I just can't be bothered with that level of stupidity for a Celtic supporter. Mass immigration. That's the reason you're here, you daft cunt. Go and ban him.
Just touching on this, prefer playing the first leg home or away, Paul?
I'm crab at the night. I'm crab as fuck tonight. But no wonder when you're dealing with stupidity like that. Anyway, I'm sure in the Seville year, we played pretty much every game. Hame to start. Blackburn, yes. Liverpool, aye. Boavista, aye. Stuttgart, aye. I kind of was around earlier on.
Celta Vigo.
Oh, fuck, so what the? Aye, same again. We're away second as well.
Big Hartson scored on that, didn't he?
Aye, didn't have big fucking the big. There you go. There's what you're looking for. Remember,
aye,
threw the boy off him and fucking bang. Fucking superb. Cheers, officer. Feel good. I will never stop ranting, mate. Never stop ranting. Particularly not main support. You're mentally fucking challenged. Honestly. And historically fucking bankrupt. It's insane. I believe that to the Huns troops. Believe that to the Huns to be like that. But aye. And if something you're calling yourself the Wilfred Nancy fan club, but that enough. What you say after that's irrelevant. For calling yourself the Wilfred Nancy fan club, and that's the last person I'm going to fight with in the comments tonight.
Aye, Thompson's free kick against Liverpool that year, right underneath the wall. Mind it was a belter, and then he celebration, he runs away and slaps his boot. And
then Hartson's fucking goal, man. Fucking
what a goal, aye.
So I was at Liverpool, I was at Blackburn, I was at Seville, obviously, and I was at Stuttgart. Great times. But aye, and then they go on. That's how far we've regressed.
So see any signings like the signings we've already brought in, the whole mass signings that were brought in, the two loan signings, they will be available for the Stuttgart tie.
Yes,
and any players that are brought in before the end of the window, if they are registered, then they can play. Is that correct?
I'll leave it to the comments because I can't see you because I've put them off because I was going to give myself an aneurysm there. So I'll let the troops, the very knowledgeable community that we've got, somebody will come up with that. You would think so, Andy, but if we buy anybody.
I think there's definitely going to be at least two coming in anyway. I've heard Sean talking about it and Martin O'Neill talking about it both last night or the day, and basically confirming that they're at the advanced kind of stage of getting deals done. They're now putting it onto the board that it's up to them to actually get the deal done. They know who the players are. They know who they want. So that is a worrying part. That is a worrying part, Paul. That the ball is in their court to get these deals done, and they've had so many failings in the past. I think it's going to be a right winger, but it looks like I think they're trying to get a centre back in as well, which kind of makes sense. A right-sided centre back, which also allows you to kind of free up Trusty and Scales and that, and kind of rotate them if possible in that kind of left centre back position if you do get a right centre back.
Yeah,
but so it looks as if that's their priorities anyway. But we're going to have to wait and see if they.
That's the thing, Andy. Right, talking about
if we get the fruits of their so-called labour, we searching for these players if they do actually get the deals done.
No matter what happens between now and the window closing, they've already failed miserably. Already, even if they were to put, and bear with me on this, if they were to put fucking three fucking tremendous signings, right, that drove us on to win the league. And I know what would happen. Everybody would forget, or a lot of folk would forget about the farcical nature. I mean, just take a look at obviously Tisdale, Nancy, fucking spending £11 million on Balakusha and Taneke. It's like we'll push the boat out and we'll spend big on shite, But when it comes to buying players, no, I'm not convinced your man from Motherwell's a £4 million player, right? But when I look at his record, and when I've seen him in the flesh, compared to the two I've just mentioned, he's very much he's a £5.5 million player because he's better than both of them.
Well, he can play right across the front line. I think he's got, is it 17 goals? Many goals, is it 17 or 16 or something like that?
I think so.
He's got a very, very, very good goal scoring record. Again, somebody that's playing in the league right now, knows the situation, doesn't need to come and settle in. He's 20 minutes along the road. You know, so for me, it's a no-brainer. I know people are saying 4 million is totally overvalued, but just as you said, look, you look at how much they're spent on Lagerbielke and Big Rocky and Balikwisha and all that. You could go on and on with the amount of money that Celtic's wasted in players that have basically just been surplus to requirements. Really, really bad recruitment. And been very lucky in the transfer market as well with players that were sold on. That's not down to good money management or football management at the top level. That's a lot of luck involved there, and they've actually been fun out now. People are really starting to open their eyes to what's going on, and I've heard this said many a times. We look behind the curtains to see exactly what's going on, you know, and it maybe takes a wee semi-crisis for people to realise really the workings of this so-called world-class basic football machine that is going on, you know, a world-class football club that has been run with absolute imbeciles, and everybody can see it now. There's no hiding place for them, you know, everything's out there.
There's so many easy wins for this board, and they're not even taking them. And that's where I think it was Doc or one of the punters had said about the almost like it's a deliberate act of sabotage now. And I ken that's going to sound mental. And unlike some of your contributors who probably are, I would suggest, because you're pretty predictable, your comments, and you're probably mad fucking didn't believe fuck all, fucking conspiracy nuts. And I'm starting to sound the one like this. But there's too much points towards that. This was soon fucking off my head. There's too much evidence to, and you try to make sense of it, and you're like, right, why would folk that aren't stupid people no do the right thing?
Paul, do you think it is self-sabotage, self-harm, or do you think it's just they're totally incapable of doing the job? I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of fuck you to the fans, and in the same process, we actually haven't got a clue what we're doing here.
I do believe, and I've seen there's my favourite fella, and Officer Feel Good. Thank God I'm not falling with everybody. Spot on, deliberate. That's where I'm getting that day, mate. That's what I'm getting as well. Because it's like, it's no difficult to fix this. You get the Green Brigade back in. Listen, I'm not a Green Brigade fanboy. I'm not any fanboy, any group. There's nobody a bigger or, well, there's clearly not as big Celtic men as me. A couple of contributors tonight. But it's, if you want everything in your toolbox to salvage a mental season, a mad season, then the first Docker, I just spot on, mate, and Terry, spot on. That's where I'm going with. I'm really struggling with somebody called Right Wing Celt, Andy. I'm sorry, again, I'm really struggling with that. I'm not sure I want to spend time.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that.
Ping for me, like, but I'll leave it up to you. Right Wing Celtic fan, what a fucking dick. But I'm a Celtic fan. We're right, David. Spot on, David. Tom. There we go. The voice series. Spot on, David. Exactly, mate. Exactly, mate. That's first and last Celtic fanboy. Spot on. But I'm also no stupid, and I also see what's going on in the boot, me, and I also know the club very, very well, as you law do. No one again, not everybody, but as you law do. And it's so predictable. The minute you start to pick fights And it's one of the things, that's why we're anti-establishment. It's why we're rebellious. Because of their background that some would rather forget and throw away. But exactly, James, spot on. And oh God, can you do that, Andy?
Aye.
Fucking get him to fuck. Prick.
There you go.
Sorry. Anyway, I didn't be daft, David. Didn't be daft. I will be a hunt probably. Mentally. But anyway, and because the minute you start spot on red, fucking rat. The minute you start to split the support, weird things happen. Because we've got that passion in us, because we've got that rebellious spirit in us, it's, I'm trying to explain it the best, it just filters through the club. And it's happened a few times.
Let me ask you something, Paul, right? Now, we are part of what's called the fan media kind of umbrella, if you want to call it that. Although Hoggie's correct in saying it, we don't consider ourselves fan media. We're just a Celtic podcast, Celtic fans talking about Celtic.
Absolutely.
But we are signatories of that open letter that was put to the club, as is, and we are here to represent everybody that follows this pod and supports this pod as well. This isn't simply just us jumping on any kind of bandwagon. I'm just a bit concerned where this collective is actually going to go. The way I'm looking at it now, it's a week to week basis on where decisions are being made. We can't do anything this week because it's a big important game, and we can't do anything because we need to wait till signings are in to see. Then we'll decide whether it's been a good season or no. The evidence is there that these guys need it right now, and I think you either need to go in full scale or don't go in at all, because I think if you get in the process that's been done, I don't understand why they're doing it. It's just where I stand. My personal opinion is, you get in, you hit them hard, and you continue to do it, and you don't relent, because I think as soon as you start backing off, it plays into their hands. They've already banned one part of the fan base, the most vocal part. Incidentally, they've already banned the fan media for getting in and asking difficult questions. Absolutely. So you already know they've got the barriers up to try and stop any kind of interaction or any interruption into the actions that they are quite happy going along with at the football club. And I think not another penny is a great idea. It's going to hit them in the pocket. But I think you need continued, and people are talking about boycotts and whether it's going to go down that route. I think decisions need to be made and they need to be stuck to. I think you need to stick to things, and I already said it right at the start, it's going to be a long, drawn-out process, because they aren't going to sack themselves.
No.
So you need to make, especially when it comes to not buying another penny, you need to make Adidas then contact Celtic and get in a meeting with them and say, what the hell is happening here? Why is your merchandise no selling? You better sort this out, because this is a great contract you're owning, great exposure for the club as well, and you just need to sort it out. Whether that's going to happen or no, I don't know. But I think it's either we need to do it or we don't do it. I think the starting picking and choosing when things are going to happen plays right into their hands, because it's slowly breaking up the fan base. They're slowly breaking away, saying all you do is put out statements. You don't do anything. You do this. All you're doing is harming the team. Trying to, there's fractions within the support that's happening here.
Right, I think, Andy, I think if I was to look at that, I've gave this quite a lot of thought, because you'll not be surprised to know that I'm fucking all in. I would be right in, but I'm not always right, far fair. And I think that, this is only my opinion, I think they're probably Stifler's there. Yep, spot on. That's Gandhi was a bit of a disappointment for me. Lying doing like foot him. Fuck that. Militant every time. But I think they've maybe read the fucking the modern support. I didn't mean that. I do not mean that in a derogatory way, because there's many elements to player support. As it social media, fucking all that stuff that we didn't have back in the day, right? You've just seen wee examples at the night how one comment can rile you up, and multiply that by loads if you're on some of these mad Celtic Facebook pages. Like, who are these people? But anyway, and they've maybe just taken the reasonably clever, but could be ultimately harmful to the longevity of the whole campaign, to say, right, I don't think we're going to, even though we've got a lot of folk, and I know loads of Celtic fans like this that are like, they agree with me, but you'll never stop them going to Celtic Park. You'll never stop them buying stuff, right? And I've no issue with that. I'm not here to tell anybody to boycott. I'm not here to tell anybody to.
Can I ask you something, Paul? Right. So let's put you in this situation that you're about to gear up your season book, right?
But just isn't off the table, by the way.
Right. At the moment, you're in that mindset. You're going to gear up your season book. Let's say,
I can't believe the words have even came out of my mouth.
Right.
I've just been thinking for 40 years.
I know, I totally understand that, and it'd be a very, very difficult thing to do. I'm not going to kind of moan at MD that doesn't do it, or applaud somebody that does do it. I think it's a personal decision and a very hard decision today. But
I don't think I will,
if Celtic don't win the league, let's say Celtic don't win anything this season, would that make you gear up your season book?
No.
Right. So let's say Celtic win the league and win the Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
Would that make you want to keep your book any more? Would it, or is it just all based on the board, or is it going to the success on the park?
Winning trophies is nothing to do with me. Andy, I like probably the majority of us, the young team. If you didn't go through the 90s, you'll be sick hearing about it, because every country in the 90s. I think I must have. I could, and if Chubb's on, he'll tell you, because he's the same. I could probably count on two hands, and I mean that domestically, how many games I missed through that decade. Hey, my favourite ever Celtic game, right? You would not fucking in a million years guess it. Chubb will, can't exactly what I'm going to say now. Was a 1-each draw with Hibs at Easter Road, the Wednesday after getting beat off Raith Rovers in the League Cup.
Yep.
When it's turned into one of the games, everybody was it, and there was about 1,000 Celtic fans there, and understandably, we were fucking heartbroken, man. We were defeated. We were slapped about. We were hurting. We were hurting for folk that we loved. Tommy Burns, Paul McStay, heroes. Yeah. Heroes. We were hurting for these people, right? And I went to Easter Road that night. I remember standing in the high street in Cowdenbeath. He's doing all right, Scott. He's doing all right. I think he's in the comments himself. And I stood in the high street in Cowdenbeath, and the Huns were playing that night. And they're driving past me, and I was fucking never so proud to stand there, because I knew they didn't want me standing there. They want me to show the tooling, because of the horrors that we'd been through. And it was, and we got to, so you get to Easter Road, the end that was there, I'll tell you. Again, here's the back of my neck, even talking about this. When they pulled the banner out, where "You Never Walk Alone," Paul McStay. Paul McStay's my hero, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to admit it at all. Tears rolling down my fucking face that night. Tears of fucking solidarity, because everybody was there that night. And that's why it's my favourite game. John Collins scored free kick, I think. 1 each. We didn't even win, we drew. And "You Never Walk Alone," Paul McStay, right? And if you were there, it was just, you knew that everybody there that night was there because it was a cause, and we were fighting for a cause. People in a cause, as Tommy Burns would say.
Yeah.
And it was just, there was a special feeling that night. Because we were used to being shite on the park. It wasn't like the result had dictated anything about that. We were used to being shite. But the solidarity and the camaraderie and the support for my hero and everybody's hero that was there that night, and I'm sure many people's heroes watching it, the Maestro, it was just fucking tremendous. Just absolutely fucking tremendous. And so, So Andy, I went through that period. The only thing that will stop me there's one thing that will make me question seriously about renewing my season ticket, and it's if they don't let the Green Brigade back in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing, one thing. And the reason for that, Andy, is twofold. First of all, I am obviously somebody that believes in solidarity and believes in fairness and believes in standing behind people that have been treated unfairly and showing them solidarity. That's just how I am as a person. I can't do nothing about that, and I'm glad I can't. And I am also somebody that remembers and is experiencing it right now, the years of no Green Brigade in that stadium. And no matter what anybody says, this is a one. You can disagree with their politics, you can disagree with their policies, apart from the policies now, which who knew? But you can disagree with their politics and their policies and everything else in between. I disagree with their pyro. Tell you that right now. Disagree with their pyro. Oswald Enoch. Okay, that's a dodgy name, mate. You've got there, like. Fuck me, I seen a pill and all the Oswald on one fucking thing. Oh, Oswald Mosley. Watching you, mate. I mean, come on to fuck.
That's definitely dodgy, isn't it?
I've just put him to Andy. Fuck it, bump.
I'll wee him in a he's not getting put up on screen, so I'll just leave him in the comments. Right. Oh. Paul, just a quick question. Can I ask you something on the GB?
Can I just finish this? Oswald Enoch. Andy. Andy, for me. That's not your actual name, you daft cunt. If it is, you scare more on that out. For that. But there you go. Fucking gonna be cutting down a fucking subbies before. No bother, fuck them. So no, the reason for that.
If the GB are let back in this season, do you think they're going to be almost suffocated with restrictions that are put upon them with the board on that basis that we'll let you in, but these are the rules that they're going to be heavily putting upon them, but basically they're not going to get away with anything again?
Andy, I'm a great believer in discussion and as I'm a union person, nobody surprised to hear that. So I'm a great believer in getting on the table and thrashing things out. And this is what I'm saying about the perfect time for the board to actually act on this. When they've got them on, I wouldn't say the back foot, they'll never have them on the back foot, but they've probably gave them a bloody nose. They've probably, so again, this is only my opinion, they've probably gave them more fright's not the right word because they couldn't do that either, but they've probably gave them more fucking, being surprised, it's not the right word either. I think what the right word is, but they probably didn't expect to boot for as long. That's just my opinion, nobody else's, right?
Yeah.
And it's a time now to say, right, guys, political banners, you can't do anything about that. That's your freedom of expression. You're allowed to do that. Has there been one or two that sailed close to the wind? Ironically enough, the one that getting a little stick was the William Wallace and Bobby Sands one.
Aye, yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant, and it showed up again a lot of people's ignorance, because the only difference between Bobby Sands and William Wallace was, well, first of all, Bobby Sands didn't kill folk, he didn't steal folks' cattle and sheep, which William Wallace did. And time, that was it. That was all the difference between the two of them. And we eulogise.
Sands was a member of Parliament. Sands was a member of Parliament, you know.
And Chill Paul, you're probably right. The GB won't there, but that's an ultra thing. Of course, they just look across the city, but they mugs get away with it. You know what I mean? But the compromise. I do, Jed. I was at that game too. Great finish, Paul.
Yes,
brilliant finish. Yeah. That was a draw there, if I remember. 1 each.
I think we were lined up to get him on the pod. I think a while back.
It
didn't quite work out. I don't know what happened. I can't remember what happened, but it was due to he was due to come on. I think he's been on a few pods talking it, and obviously that's one of the first things that comes up is that goal that he scored against him.
So banners wise, support for Palestine. Come on, Falkirk. Could anybody have any? Well, something covered. And so I'm not issue that whatsoever. The only thing for me would be pyro. That's the one thing they'll get them on every time because it's banned. Whether we like that or no, it's banned. So you've got that, and I think what the group is doing there, and I have, by the way, I just know people in the Green Brigade. I am not to do with the Green Brigade whatsoever. Zero to do with them.
Many, I said about 200 or one that are actual members of the GB, which is the section that you can see that's actually covered up.
And I'm not bored with it. I'm not bored with it. There's plenty of them getting my fucking tits, by the way, because there is a wee bit of elitism with something on. And that brings it back to what David was saying about Celtic fanboy. Nobody's a bigger Celtic. There's a couple of fucking Russell, Jerry, and that. If you're watching Jerry, you came out and you mate. If I'm half the Celtic man, you'll be doing well. But no many. Certainly no many in the Green Brigade. But they're good supporters. They're real supporters. They're Celtic supporters. Okay, I mean, this is a common misconception too. And that would be quite good. You've seen him on your old one, Andy. There's a shock. He's an awfully nice lad, eh? I mean, of course.
I spoke to him a couple of times. I spoke to him on the pod we done with him. A great vent. Reminds me very much of his dad. He's got a lot of his dad's mannerisms. In fact, he's like the president of the North American Foreign Managers Association or something like that. So ideally, it would have been good to get him on when Nancy was talking about, obviously before he came, to get a wee bit of insight on him. Obviously, it doesn't matter now, but that was a Tommy Burn special that night, which was a great privilege just to hear stories about when he was doing he was going to visit George McCluskey, I think it was. The back end of that call, and he came out and turned. Now, Jonathan was in the car with him, and he was just a young boy, and he came out for that junction 7 or junction 8 of M74, turned the ring mine, headed down, and he says he got to Carlisle and realised he'd turned the ring down. He says it was absolutely hopeless when it came. Where was he trying to go to? He was trying to get back home, like heading up the 74 for that call area. I think George McCluskey stayed at the back. I can't remember the name of at the back end of where that call that is towards my heat's and a Straven way. But he's turned the ring mine in a motorway and went down the way and just carried on driving and realised I think he was at Carlisle. Aye. But he said he didn't towards Carlisle, just drove and then realised he's went the right direction. That was my dad at the back.
We've made the same mistake, me and the great TV then, because I was going straight to renew my season ticket one a couple of years ago, and I was late or something. I can't remember what it was, but I had to go through, and I done the same thing. And I just realised that for the thousands of times that I've been on this road, and it will be thousands probably, going to Celtic Park, I've never drove it. I very rarely drove it. Okay, I mean, I'm in the bus because we supporters bus. And I ended up doing that road as well, so I'm happy that me and TB share something. I love a Celtic and shit driving thingy. But no, listen, it's
well, we're going to this is going to be a process. We're going to up the content. We're going to try and get more stuff out there for the members as well. We're going to try and get more pre-recorded stuff, which will probably be try and get ex-players. Or like you say, Jonathan talking about his dad or whatever, talking about Celtic in general. It's good to get somebody else's. I mean, we're a cracking team, but it's good to draft somebody in now and again and just get a different voice to say,
I shouldn't even say this out loud, right? Because it'll probably not happen. But I'm very good friends, with Scott Brown's cousin, and his godfather is a very good friend of mine. But it's maybe a big argument. You never know. I'll ask the question.
You never know. We'll do whatever
and
we can.
And I'll also chase up Paul John, because I know we were meant to be going fucking This Is Axon.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to get a gig with him and his brother in a couple of weeks in McCool's. So if that's coming off, I'll wait till then. If no, I'll drop him a wee message. Just chase it up on your behalf, Andy, obviously. And
Aye.
it was you
Well,
that made.
well,
You're all right with that, big man. You're all right with that.
aye, of course. I think I'd like to, talking about me, I think we've spoken about this as a group. We'd like to kind of reach out to other podcasts and get a wee person for there to jump on every
Aye.
now and again, a wee kind of guest appearance, just to,
I
it's
know.
always good to have a kind of
Aye.
a different voice, you know,
Well,
and kind of hold out that hand.
I say I
to
wanted
other
to
podcasts.
more. I did say more established because we're what we are. We're a twice a week at like the night. That's what I loved. This is why I loved watching this podcast before I came on it. Was because yes, there was some form of order, but predominantly there wasn't. Okay, I mean, it was just a discussion. It was neighbours talking about the things that the thing they love, and when you're talking about the thing you love, you should be jumping out of the place because the passion should make you do that in the first place because we are so passionate about this club that we love.
Just Paul, while we're talking about podcasts, I've not got a problem mentioning other podcasts. I think we've all got our own wee niche in the market of what people like and what they don't like, which is fair dues. I'm the same with different stuff for certain podcasts I do watch and other ones I don't. And it's nothing against the ones I don't watch. I just like what I like. That's your own title to your opinion. But one of my favourites to listen to, in fact, it's not a visual podcast, it's four Tims in a podcast.
Aye, yeah,
it's one of, if no my favourite other podcast apart from us to listen to. I think the boys on that are just hit the nail on the head all the time. Especially Big Tony. I think he gets stitches all the time, but he's 100% spot on as well.
Yeah.
I like Sell Exchange. I like Axum.
Yes, I like Axum as well.
I like a lot of that kind of stuff. What do you watch when it comes to other Celtic content?
Obviously, when you were on the Four Leaf, I remember saying to you, I watched and you were quite surprised. And I only watched it, I'm not going to lie, because you were on it and I always enjoyed it. As I say, when the first time I met you, you were just kind of going back away because we all know the reasons for that. And thank God you're back. I think our viewing figures have no coincidence. So fair play to you on that one. And I enjoyed watching that. I'm not going to go into bits that I didn't like, but I did enjoy watching bits and bobs of that.
The boys are all good.
And I like Axel's what I like about Paul John. Well, first and foremost, I know Paul John reasonably well. I know his brother better, but I know Paul John. I've known him for a long time, and he's part. No, they don't need me to tell him this, but he's passed a good test for me because he's been very, very vocal against the board, and very all the things that I believe in politics. I know he's a good person, comes from a great family. Dad was a minor striker out the whole year, obviously, and the comfy Blair Hall, out that way, Oakley, Blair Hall. Again, these mining villages, good stock, again, just good working class socialist people, and I had a bit of concern when he was starting to. But the beginning of this, I think I expressed that pretty, but not just with. I know I feel quite bad because I've picked. I hate to stop slang Quinny because he's very good with his analysis. The boy knows he's fit once, but he's just to stop saying in the building all the time. But anyway, that's just my stuff. I enjoy Axum's what it is. It's very slick. It's very professionally done. And
I think they're moving to a studio. I've seen pictures of it. What he's done a fantastic. I don't know. I know it's in Glasgow somewhere. I'd actually like to go and have a wee look at it to see the actual setup because I think it looks absolutely fantastic.
Somewhere or because I know he uses bad a lot.
I think he's using bad the new, but I don't know if it's actually new premises or where it is. I don't know if it's actually where it is, to be honest with you, but it doesn't matter. But I think the pictures I've seen, Paul, is very, very, it's very well done, very, very well. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing a lot more content coming for that kind of setup. I think he's done a fantastic job at getting the podcast out there, and the name of Celtic as well. They've obviously got Tino have got their appearances on Sky Sports as well.
Tino's, I like Tino. Tino comes
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with
yeah.
I
I've only met Tino once at one of your charity
very
nights
good.
a few
I
years
think
ago.
Paul John's a good spokesman for Celtic, and Red, you're my man. Politically, we're on the same page, etc. And so I'm going to take this comment on. I can't help but see Paul John Dykes as being someone hell bent on painting himself into Celtic's socio-political history, and I am always wary of folks I see operate with self-interest. But I don't think he's ever been. I suppose he's making a career, right? And the very nature of that, there is self-interest involved in it, obviously. However, Red, what he's done for me, and I think I made my feelings really open on this, was when they started this, they were involved in the collective and criticised the board and whatnot. Because there was a bit of me thought, these people, like, I fucking, is he a young Tony Hamilton? Ken that? Because that
Big Yogi's superb on Axel.
I like Big Yogi. A lot of folk
very good.
By the way. A lot of folk didn't. I think he's great. I think he's brilliant.
He's one of probably my favourite one.
Just to finish on the Paul John stuff, I thought, and I've spoken to a couple of his neighbours, Big Tony, if you're watching Tony, we discussed at half time.
Oh, 20-minute Tims, I know. They're really good. Aye, really good.
Me and Big Tony, we're mutual friends with Paul and Jazzy, that's his brother. Good people. It's good people. And I mentioned to Tony, I said, Tony, this for me, because Paul John's got his fucking his job basically now, and does he want to be fucking, because I know the way this is going to go, there's going to be ups and downs in this campaign, there's going to be times when he might be arguing against his viewers, it might be times, I didn't give no offence to the viewers and give me it back, I didn't mind arguing with anybody, but it's not my job, you know what I mean, it's not my job, but it's Paul John's living and blah, 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 and I thought, right, his test will be for me, if when it does get into the trenches, so to speak, will he stand by his morals? And I shouldn't have been in doubt, kenning his background, kenning his dad Jimmy and that. Yeah. And the villages that he comes from and all the rest.
To be fair, he doesn't shy away from things like that.
No, that's what I'm just going to finish up on that, Andy, and say exactly that. I'm really happy and no surprised, really. But folk can be careerists. And so he's done very well. I love watching it. By the way, I love watching them when the times are shit, which has been loads, to be fair. Rangers rabble and that. But so Axom's obviously that's my go-to. I like Big Hamish. Although I stopped watching. I told him this, right? Hamish used to have a season ticket for the standing section. Big Hamish for
yeah.
When it was 1967, what was it again? Celtic 67.
Hail 67.
Aye. And I bumped into him in the standing section.
What actually happened? Right? He had something like 40,000 subs or something at one point, and then it stopped, and he started the Celtic AM for scratch. Yeah. And I thought, why not just? I know he went to Australia, but even just change the name. You know what I mean?
We know about losing subs, Andy.
Aye, I know that. I know.
Yeah. But so I've pulled him in the section. I need to let him shut my puss. I've got ADHD. I think there's any doubt about that. And Louise keeps telling me that too. And what's up? How, Paul, did you work at P&H? What's P&H?
P&H used to be across from Summerfield. It's now. No. They add another into it. The day like food and all that. No, they used to. Okay. That's they used to supply cigarettes and all that kind of stuff. Because when I worked with Summerfield, I worked at East Kilbride, and I used to go to the Petriva depot, which is now, I think something's getting built there now, but it's right across the road for the old Summerfield depot. That's what he's thinking about.
Petriva, did you say Petriva where about?
So if you come off the roundabout, there's a fire station. You buy the fire station and run the bend, and the Petriva depot was up where that is, and the P&H place was right across the road.
Are you talking about
Palmer and Harvey? Aye, Palmer and Harvey it was called. Yeah.
No, I didn't. By the way, ironically enough, I didn't work far away from there. No, I didn't. I've not worked. I've worked with Scottish Autism. I worked with, let's be honest. And, I've been there 22 years, so. And it's. Aye. And that's just round for 5 minutes from there, ironically enough. But no, Paul John's done well, but Big Hamish in the section, so I bumped into him. And You know my favourite Scott McDonald, and I used to get Scott McDonald on the show a lot.
Ah, that's right. I remember.
Even Louise didn't like him. She just said that she didn't like him either. So I apologized. I said, "Big man, I've stopped watching it. And I really enjoyed watching it, but I've stopped watching it because that little bastard's on your show too often." And I'm sure it's completely coincidence. He's not it anymore.
Aye.
I'm sure that was absolutely nothing to do with me, and he maybe just seen the light today. But I'm back with Celtic Axom. 20-minute Tims. Aye, like Cobdy. She's a wee new James.
Aye. I think my first one to go is 4 Tims in a podcast, and then I'll, depending on certain days and if I can pick it up live or no, Axum, and I always look out for the 20-minute Tims as well. And then your Celtic Exchange is probably the kind of main ones I like listening to. Yeah.
Aye, as I say,
and does, of course, and does.
And I watch yours back all the time.
See, I don't. It's something that I can't do. The only time I watch your podcast back is to maybe bring something up funny and share it in the group. Look, whatever Baz done, it's usually Baz that does and stuff.
Somebody's brought up the what's that one just again? Fucking ask me to watch. What is it again? One Celtic fans.
Oh, Baz for One Celtic fans view. Aye, Baz is good.
It was Big John Caleta. John, if you're John, was watching earlier on. It was John that put me onto that. And I enjoy that. I do enjoy that. That boy's good. So
aye. I think he's based in Spain. I think Baz is based in Spain, if I'm right. Because Kaiser that was on the 4-leaf, in fact, he's still on it. Used to do a bit with, I think he was in the comments all the time, and I think he's done a few kind of things with Baz live kind of stuff a couple of times. I do like Baz. Baz is always content.
So what's that? Somebody's asked us, lads, give us your top 4 goalkeeper, defensive midfield, centre forward. What do you mean? The all time? Because that would be a good way to finish.
Else Palm trying to get us to tap up Paddy for the Full Leaf Clover podcast.
Paddy's good, Paddy's good.
And good guys. Paddy's a great speaker. Really knows the game as well. You know, when he analyses a game, he's very, very good. Yeah.
I was just going to say Per Kaiser's watch alongs because he's had some fucking howler of games, man.
I've no managed to catch up with him. I've always been watching the game, but
if I'm fucking in the shower after the gym or something, before I go put the game on, or on a way European tie or something. He's a few howlers like.
Paddy's the Irish guy. He's for Ballymena.
Aye, very good.
Paul, I passed it. I was going down to Cairnryan last night, and I seen the buses coming up going to the game, and my cab's all up with Celtic stuff, right? Celtic badges, Celtic crest, the 4-leaf clover thing in the background. And I'm driving down, the supporters buses are flashing us, going the other way up to the stadium because they got the Celtic stuff on it. I actually meant to phone Paddy. I messaged him to say, you must have been on one of the buses. I've just passed you on my way down to Cairnryan to pick a trailer up, but I managed to see the game right enough. I was parked up in time to see the game.
So there's more Philax and the boys on the bus they mentioned. I'm not sure.
I don't know if that's to do with, is that to do with Boise or is that a different thing? I don't know.
Oh, maybe I can take or leave that. That's one I can take or leave. It sounds too much like me, so you don't imagine what you can't say today. Listen.
Aye, now and again I do listen to the old Martin and the Rangers Ravels. Always a good listen.
I'll say it right now. Never seen a Celtic game in my life, but never mind.
Aye. Well,
hey-ho.
I've seen a picture of him taking through the turnstile, but unfortunately he didn't get in for some reason. Don't know.
The turnstiles are a nightmare for that. They fucking click too quickly. I had to double money bar up at the what game was it? Was it the Huns game? Aye, it was. Just before I come to meet you. Because that's one onto me with the stewards. Fuck yous, I doubled the boy up. And stick down in the section, 2 onto me. And he's went through I don't know if anybody else has had this problem. If you didn't get it right, it fucking stops. So my neighbour Pedro's fucking caught and he's standing about looking like a fucking lost soul. And he's not the weirdest lad, he's Pedro. And I'm actually just getting the back, the boy fucking pushed through and he's got in and got away. So aye. So it does happen if that's what's happened to Boys today.
I mind when they first put the full length turnstiles in. So it used to be the half turnstiles, and you get lifted down, and then they thought, well, we're going to put a soap to this, and it was like, oh, do you fucking think so? Because me and my sister used to just squeeze into the one in the old celly, and they put it at full length. We just squeezed in 2 people in the one thing, just paid for one.
I thought she was a pain in the arse on Ajax. And please do not take this as a gender thing at all, because it's absolutely not. That Laura Bradburn, fucking hell, man. What a piss she talks. Fucking, honestly, dear. I've told Paul John that too, so. And there's a Kim Graham I could take a leave to be fair. But, anyway, enough slagging that. I'm going to get a solo podcast. Enough slagging that.
We're on an hour and a half, over an hour and a half. This was only meant to be an hour, Paul. This has just got way out of control here. That's what happens when you've not got any script. I like these ones. Just off the cuff, I know. I just want to talk quickly before we go about the Celtic Falkirk game on Sunday, 3 o'clock, Celtic Park.
Yeah.
We tend not to have a great...
I'll come back to your question. I'll come back to that, son.
We tend not to have a bit of a hangover after European games, but after it being such a positive result and progressing through to the next stage, do you see Celtic get in with full of confidence and fully expecting Celtic to take charge and take control of that game and win that game and get the 3 points?
I do. Listen, I'm not going to be too cocky, but I expect us to win anyway. I expect us to win. Falkirk aren't a bad side, by the way. They're one of the better football sides in the league.
Yeah.
And John McGlynn, what a job, Ken, what a guy.
I think there's a chance of him going to Aberdeen if they're actually looking at him, or maybe a foreign manager. I think he'd be a great shout for Aberdeen, to be honest.
I know. Do you know what I mean? I know.
Yep.
But it might just be, I mean, he's built that club. Ken, he's really went in there and put his mark on it. And he's done really, really fucking well. I think sometimes, and that's what I sort of think of Knutson and Bodo Glint too. Sometimes I think some managers are just meant for certain clubs.
I get you.
They've got full autonomy and it's not a massive club, so they can have hands on all the time. They've probably not got arseholes. They've clearly not got fucking arseholes like we've got in the boardroom. And the only way you would replicate that's why I was the first for going for Knutson, because I think the only way that works is if you lock, stock and barrel, bring everything.
See, I do agree with you. I really wanted Knutson when Ange left, because I thought the transition between Ange ball and the way Knutson gets his teams playing would have been flawless almost. You weren't steering away too much for the type of football we played. In fact, we were Bodo Glimt at the way Celtic were playing at the time, were like Celtic on steroids, you know, they were just unbelievable. But I kind of agree with you. I think, you know, you do wonder how we get on working with I was going to say this structure, but we don't actually have a structure, which is pretty laughable when you think about it, you know, but the situation that we are in. But I agree with you. I think, you know, he might not have really had the same success as what he's had at Bodo Glimt under this absolute shambles.
I get his records absolutely tremendous. But I'm kind of off that opinion that sometimes managers are just meant for certain clubs. David Tomley, you've got family in Lokelly and Ballingery. I wonder if I know them. I probably will, if they're Tim's too, which I would suspect they might be. So I expect us just to sort of keep it short for Sunday, really, Andy. I expect quite a reasonably comfortable win. As I say, I took quite a wee bit for that on Thursday last night, that it was sort of squeaky bum time, and we managed to ride it out and get that fourth goal. And I would imagine that would probably be a much needed wee bit of confidence for a team that's still probably suffering the PTSD Nancy's system. I think you can underestimate the damage that's done, not just points wise, but also confidence-wise and came, I mean, all of that. Cheers more up the flank column, indeed, son. I don't think you can underestimate the confidence that's maybe, or the confidence that's been drained out of us by going from being a winning team to just being a fucking farce. You know what I mean? That must be some. I mean, I can only imagine. I'm pretty good at my job, if I say so myself. And if I turned up and just all of a sudden I was really shit, it would really knock my confidence. You know what I mean? I would be like, what the fuck's happened here? And you would need to come back for that. So that was not the same as what I did, but the human reaction, the principle of the human reaction is still the same.
Sorry, Paul, but I didn't do a branding, I'm afraid. I didn't leave in the middle of the night. I left quite, wouldn't say
I could laugh about it, but and I knew you were there. But I watched it for 10 minutes. And if I hadn't known, I thought you'd passed away. Because the eulogies you were getting, and deservedly so, mate. I mean, all done for the right reasons the first time and the second time. And I think if people didn't know the story, then they're getting that wrong.
I left the podcast, I left the Four Leaf Clover, but I didn't leave the Four Leaf Clover to come here. I left the Four Leaf Clover, and then Baz contacted me about maybe contributing again.
And they'll take you right.
A month later or something like that. And I thought, well, why not? Because I've already been here before and circumstances had changed. So
yeah, Baz had his eye on you for as did we all. And I remember there was conversations going on, and Baz was like, I'm telling you, it could be a shout, and we're no chance, Ken. Big man's fucking, and obviously things happened, and that's life, Ken. It's what happens. And you're right, there wasn't any approach for the CSP to fucking snare you. No. You know what I mean? That was never, I mean, we were always wanting you back, but we didn't think there was a chance of that. So that's how much it wasn't done on the slide. That's how much it wasn't done on the fucking whatever term you used there. But I think Andy. I think I mean the boys. By the way, the boys are all right. But
all good guys. Just things happening. That's it.
But no, just to finish up on Sunday, Andy, I'm pretty comfortable that we'll finish up on that result. I'm going to go for Srinahan. I'm going to go for Srinahan. And are we kind of tying it up, Andy?
Aye. I'm just trying to catch up with these kind of. I feel as if I've been.
Well, there was the one.
Just firing the comments up because I don't want to neglect any of them. So,
Joe Venglos, I think he was wanting. I presume it was my favourite goalkeeper, centre half, midfielder, and striker. Watching Celtic. Great question, by the way. Goalkeeper's a tricky one. I'd probably have to go for Fraser Foster as a goalkeeper because I was brought up with Parky Bonner, Peter Latchford, just the tail end of Peter Latchford, then Parky Bonner, who was big Parky was a good keeper, but he wasn't in the same class as even Boric. Boric kind of got on my fucking nerves a bit, to be honest with you.
It was a nut job.
Well, Andy, there was a couple of things he annoyed me with. I mean, that day at Ibrox when he let fucking Chris Boyd score. The only goal he scored against us. The great Chris Boyd, the great striker. He scored one goal against Celtic for the bastards. And it was Boric at that time. He wasn't training away. He wasn't training apparently. He'd put weight on. He was apparently out in the Swally a lot. And that's
I was working in a casino at the time. He was in one night smoking fags out in the veranda and just not giving a fuck.
A lack of respect there. And then that was a game, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was a game that he come in and he took the flag at the broom loan and ran up the park with it.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone mental about that, right? And I'm like, okay, what? Fuck off and do your job properly. You just let that rat bastard score against us. And again, it meant nothing because we'd already won the league. But it still meant everything. So for me, and Big Fraser Foster's performance in the League Cup final is one of the best goalkeeping performances I've ever seen. Fair goalkeeper, by the way. Fair goalkeeper.
And I get the performances against Barcelona as well.
Barcelona, the wall, as it was known.
The great wall.
And obviously, one that sticks in my mind for as everybody will be fucking David Marshall's performance in the new camp.
Drafted into playing that game, and you know, had the performance his career, didn't he, that night?
Big John Kennedy too, superb. Fucking, he could have been world class.
That injury in the Scotland game, wasn't it?
Oh, that's my goalkeeper. Centre half. Oh, I love Mark Reaper, eh? I really like Mark Reaper. Mark kind of defender.
It was class.
Roy Ayton, you could fucking put in there too. But he played a lot in midfield.
Yeah.
By the way, Andy, if there's one player I could bring back into this team for all the right reasons, and Paul McStay made ability in one day than Roy Ayton did, but Roy Ayton was a very good football player, by the way. And it would be Roy Ayton because he's what we need in this team. But anyway, so I'm going. No, I'd be right. Paul Elliott or I like Big Bobo too, big no nonsense. I like my Albi. I'm going to go with Reaper. There you go. I had a lot of fondness for Mark Reaper.
Great player. Absolutely.
A lot of fondness for Mark Reaper. And I think he retired a bit early with an injury, didn't he? So
his injury got him. Yeah.
Midfield speaks for itself. Paul McStay all day long. Up front in the last. Simple as that. Actually, there's an argument for, and again for the older generation watching, there's an argument for Charlie Nicholas in his first spell was absolutely world 5 minutes. It was absolutely world class. Just leave that, I'll get in there. Was world class and had more ability than Henrik Larsson ever had. Henrik Larsson was probably the first person to admit that. But what Henrik Larsson had, everybody else. Joe, I was always a bit disappointed with Alan Stubbs. I was so excited when we signed him. What a coup it was to get him. Decent, but Mark Reaper all day long for me. Paul Elliott is in with a shout too. Paul Elliott and the team that Mark Reaper played in, absolutely. Because he was a rock in a really bad team. Smell the glove, absolutely, mate. Charlie's first couple of seasons, he was just. You wanted to go and watch him. Where Henrik Larsson beats everybody. Henrik Larsson beats everybody, but just he's got fucking ice going through his veins. Never mind blood. Just so cool, calm, collected. The same performance. I've said that before. You got the same performance shoot him against fucking Berwick Rangers as he did Barcelona. Just that he got bad injuries, came back a better player. I mean,
there's another one. Big Dolph as well was a cracking shout. Yeah. The thing is, it's you could be here all night discussing and debating about.
I'm sticking with that for.
Yeah.
But Charlie, I didn't mind it, man. When he went to Arsenal, I was fucking in tears. And if anybody's not watched the football icons, Charlie's got one. You've got boys like Paul Sturrock and Paul, what a player he was.
Is that through the BBC that's done?
Aye, you know what's the man?
You're the iPlayer, what?
Aye, I think Willie Miller's one as well. He was world class too. What a defender. But Charlie's on it, and it comes towards the end of the programme, and there's a bit of sadness in it because Charlie's fucking died in the wool Celtic man for Partick. You know what I mean? He was died in the wool.
Aye.
And obviously. He was probably too honest with his criticism of Celtic when he was. And by the way, to be fair, that's just a memory just come back to me. I'll never forgive him for when he appeared on a stage with Maggie Thatcher when he was.
When was this? When was that?
When he was with Arsenal, him and fucking David O'Leary. Aye, so fuck it. I've just fucking taught myself out of that. But if I can try and distance myself from that, which I can't. But it was some player, and he says at the end of the programme. He was like, I know I've not got the relationship. This is never verbatim. It's kind of a mad limb a bit, but he's like, I know I've not got the relationship with the Celtic fans that I would love to have, and it does hurt. Okay, what I mean. So he acknowledges that it does hurt that he's not got that relationship because it was what everybody could say, and you're right. His criticism might have been a bit over the top at times, but
also that's been said about Andy Walker as well. You know, when they get into the media, they feel as if they need to kind of almost go against Celtic more than what they instinctively would. To show that they're not being biased.
Aye, but the thing with Andy Walker will fight that corner all day long. He'll fight his corner all day long in that. I've seen him actually being quizzed on that.
Yep.
And he's like, it's my opinion. Ken, it's my opinion. I'm there to give my opinion. And more power to him. No, fuck me, no more power.
They'll never get away for the soup taker status.
No, I know,
mate.
I know. Somebody just come in the comments. I know, a quick here, you're ripping the arse out. I know.
We better watch our time.
We're going to tie it in. Lee's already been in twice, fucking. Each time increasingly crab at looking. So, but this one's I love them all. But me and Baz, me and Hoggy, we've done all these sort of twos, and they're just this. And I hope everybody gets it. I'm rough as fuck. I'm surprised I've got through this long, to be honest with you. And it's just what it's been tonight, and I've really enjoyed it, mate.
Aye,
really enjoyed it. I've got a few foot banned because I'm deservedly so. You can fuck off. But a wee bit tetchy, shall we say? But there you go. But no, it's been good, Andy. And I will try and shut up now.
No worries. So we will be back on Monday.
I might be back shift Monday.
I'll need to see where I'm up. Loading for Ion, so I could be there. It all depends. Obviously, boats and stuff like that, whether I can make it. But there will be a podcast on Monday. So thanks very much for everybody that's tuned in. And if you haven't subscribed, press that wee subscribe button if you don't mind. It really helps us on our way. And press the like button and all. Get it out to people that don't know about us. It gets the algorithms going. Apparently, I don't really know. That's what I've been told. So thanks very much for tuning in. I
know loads of people that watch like older boys and that. A couple of boys I talked to, the older boy he loves it. And I'm like, subscribe. No, I just watch it. Okay, man. And that's fair enough. Obviously, with the numbers we're getting in comparison to the subscribers, it's slowly sneaking up. But obviously, if we'll just put it on and they just didn't press subscribe, and that's fine. That's fine. You lazy bastards.
But thanks, Paul, for the night. Very much appreciated. Really enjoyed that, and we will be back with you on Monday. Morning Hoops.
And listen, just to finish off, mate, you've stood in for Hoggy, and you know what Anki Hoggy and he's. I
couldn't touch Hoggy when it comes to hosting a
Hoggy's great. Hoggy's great. No, by the way, you absolutely can. So's Baz, by the way.
Baz is very good at it. Yes, mate.
I prefer being the mouthpiece. It's fucking no hit day buttons. And I'm a technophobe too, so. I mean, Hoggy was going to do me a fucking tutorial in that. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of time to find the fucking tunnel, never mind fucking buttons and that. So, on that high note.
Thank you. See you all later.